Hi, good morning everyone. In this video, I'll be talking about endosymbiotic origin of eukaryotes. The previous one I have already told about, that is the symbiotic origin. Now it is the endosymbiotic origin. Now endosymbiotic origin means the first step is basically engulfment. There is no symbiosis, there is no fusion between archaea and bacteria, but both the things are same. Here also archaea and bacteria are needed, but the archaea and bacterial cell are not fused here. Rather than here, archaean cell that will engulf a relatively small sized bacterial cell. Okay, in a simple thing, archaea that will eats the bacteria. Okay, they will not fuse, they will just engulf the whole thing. They will engulf the whole thing like this. Okay, so that will give rise a fused cell with archaeal chromosome and bacterial chromosome. Now this bacteria, as that is not fused with the archaean cell, so here the bacterial cell is known as endosymbiont, okay, and the archaean cell is known as host cell. Now what happens in second step? In second step, the genes from this endosymbiont, means the bacterial cell, will be transferred into the genome of the archaean, the host cell. Okay. Now that will give rise to a mitochondria. That will give rise to a mitochondria. That will give rise a mitochondria. Or even in this third step, another extra bacterium that can also be engulfed by this fused cell, that will also give rise to mitochondria and other eukaryotic parts like Golgi body, endoplasmic reticulum, nucleus and all. And in the last step, that is also similar with the previous one, the symbiotic origin. If cyanobacteria enters or engulfed by this final cell, that will obviously give rise to a cell which contains mitochondria, nucleus, ear, Golgi bodies and all, plus a chloroplast. Okay, obviously that will give rise to plants and algae, and the another one which doesn't have any cyanobacteria, means they doesn't have any kind of a chlorophyll or chloroplast, that will give rise to fungi, animals like us, and some protists also. So that is the endosymbiotic theory, means there is a differentiation between the first step. If the archaea and a bacterial cell, they will merge or they will fuse, that will give rise to symbiotic theory. If archaean cell engulf or eats, in a simple word, if they eats the bacterial cell, that will give rise to endosymbiotic theory. Okay, the engulfment give rise to endosymbiosis, and fusion between the archaea and bacteria, that will give rise to the symbiotic relationship. So differentiation or the names actually comes from the first step. Otherwise the rest of the steps are much more similar with in these two models. So in this way, eukaryotic organisms will be originated, whether symbiotic or non-symbiotic, means the endosymbiotic relationship. So this is all. Thank you so much. If you like, please subscribe my channel and share with your friends.